Do you feel stuck in a loop of building features and in the end you see that they're not actually building any business value? Do you see that after a few months of putting so much effort into your features, they're not actually taking you any closer to your goals? Product management is a lot about building value for customers and for the business. And in doing so, you need to really transition from outputs to outcomes. Look no further. In this video, I'll be covering a simple trick to help you move from outputs into outcomes so that you can deliver value for customers and the business and taking you closer to achieving your goals. So let's start with the beginning. We'll start with the definition of what outputs are, where to find them, what outcomes are, what are the differences between outputs and outcomes, and then complete with the trick that you can apply in your day-to-day. So outputs take the shape of solutions. You have clear ideas, defined features that the company wants to deliver. Outputs are roadmaps where you have a list of features you want to deliver within specific time frames. But the big part they're missing is the value or the problem that the specific feature actually covers or wants to answer. When do outputs happen? So they really happen when there's no clear company strategy, there's no clear product strategy, so there's not really that easy to be able to align it with something bigger, with the bigger goal of the company. They also happen when there's a lot of pressure on delivery versus value, when you're being asked how many features have you released in a period of time rather than how have you got closer to increasing conversion or getting closer to specific metrics. They really happen when companies don't really understand the product development process, and there's really that relationship between the number of features or building more features going to lead to success. But a lot of the times is going to be stakeholders come in with outputs, come in with features, and they'll be asking the engineering team and you as a product manager about, okay, when is this feature going to be delivered? Or what are outcomes? Outcomes are described in terms of the value of a feature that is going to provide for the target users. Outcomes are really about understanding the customer needs and problems and providing a solution because we know there's value in solving those problems. And outcomes have clear goals and clear metrics that this specific feature is going to achieve. Now, what is the difference between output and outcome? We are still talking about ideas, we are still talking about features, but it is about what is going to happen at the end of releasing the feature and what is the goal, what is the role of this feature. Outputs don't tend to have a learning or feedback cycle. So at the end of delivering a feature, when it comes to an output, you don't really know if it was successful or not, or it's very hard unless you have already decided what problem this is going to solve or what metric this is going to answer. You will be left in a place where, okay, I released this, but I don't really know what's going to be next, and I don't really know if this was a success or actually it was a failure. It's okay if a feature is a success or a failure. The most important part is the learning and helping you know what you're going to build next. Another big difference between outputs and outcomes is all about being able to measure the impact that this specific feature has had towards the goals. Let's take an example. You have the goal to, okay, we're going to launch a whole new homepage. That's fine. That is a feature you really want to go ahead. Then in terms of deliverables, you break it down into epics, and the success would be being able to deliver a new homepage within a month. If you look at outcomes, the outcome would be, how are we able to increase conversion from homepage? That's very different. That doesn't mean you have to rebuild the whole homepage. It might be around a specific section of the homepage you want to rebuild. You will still be delivering features, but you will have a specific metric that you will know. So the outcome is, well, I want to increase engagement with the homepage and actually more people click through from that page. And then you start really looking at it from a problem space rather than, I just want to deliver a new homepage. So let's get to the interesting part. So how are you going to move from outputs to outcomes? Now, my simple trick is the 5 whys. In the situation where you encounter outputs, it's either coming from stakeholders, they really want a feature delivered, or it's coming from engineering team, or everything is quite solution led and you're thinking, okay, we just want this delivered. At that point, the trick is to start asking why. most of the time outputs are not they're not intrinsically bad. They always come from a specific need. So the trick is to move from output to understand what is the problem people are trying to solve by building this feature. And in order to do that, you just need to talk to the people who have this idea around what do they want to build, and kind of go back and back and back and back and back and be like, okay, this is why I really wanted this feature delivered within this time frame. And even behind every time frame or every timeline or like a specific date, there could be a real reason. There could be a reason about aligning with marketing ads. It could be a reason around compliance. But you have to understand, and the trick is to literally taking off layers and layers and layers until you understand what is the reason why people want to build this. And then when you have the reason, you'll be like, okay, so the reason why you want a new homepage is because we're seeing a lot of people drop off as soon as they see the page, which means we might not have the right information. So you are worried that we're losing a lot of traffic and we paid a lot of money to get paid ads and we're losing all of that. Hence you want to rebuild the homepage. Then you have a starting point. Then you have a starting point to create an outcome. Then you have a starting point to be able to know what is the end goal of what you're trying to achieve, and then work with all these different people, work with the same people that came up with the output, but be able to get them to understand, okay, there might be different solutions for this problem, and now we have a different goal than just being a specific deliverable. Hope this helped. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave any comments and please subscribe for more product management tips. Bye.